Well, in this video, we are going to learn how to play the song No Name by Red Rocks Worship on the acoustic guitar. Let's get right into it after this intro. Alrighty, friends. Well, so glad to be with you today. As I said, we are going to learn the song No Name by Red Rocks Worship. Super excited to teach you this. If we were just meeting, my name is Jeremy Ellis, and I created this channel, Influential Worship, to help fellow worship leaders like that intro said, to lead with confidence, to live into your calling and leave your mark, your legacy on those you lead and serve. So before we start the acoustic guitar tutorial here, I'd love to get a free gift into your hands. And this is something, when I started leading worship, I wish I had something like this just to gain confidence week after week. And so it's going to be 6 practices, a guide that'll teach you 6 practices you can implement this very week to just up your worship leading and, again, gain more confidence and a godly confidence too, a confidence in the Lord, not in our own abilities, but a confidence in the Lord. So go to influentialworship.com. Like you can see there, you can grab that free guide. We'd love to get that into your hands. But man, without further ado, let's jump into this acoustic guitar tutorial for this amazing song by Red Rocks Worship. And super excited to go through this today. I had to learn this recently for a service that I was a part of, and man, it was just an amazing song, and I couldn't find very many resources on it, so I wanted to create something that could help out other fellow worship leaders and acoustic guitar players. So let's jump in. What we're going to do is we're going to break down the song. The song is in the key of D flat originally, so I'm going to teach it in that. The reason for that is because the song is using, the acoustic guitars in it are using a capo on capo 6 here, and we're going to use G shapes. And the nice thing is you can just slide the capo down. You could just slide the capo down to whatever you need to fit the key of your voice. I believe when we did it in the key of B. So basically, I just slid my capo down to capo 4, played the same shapes, and you can adjust the song for your key. But again, I'm going to follow along. Just in case you wanted to follow along later on to the recording by Red Rocks Worship, we're going to be capo 6, and we're going to teach G shapes. So let's dive into it. What we're going to do is I'm going to break down the chords that you need to know for this, and you will see I'm going to be putting up just chords on the screen as we go through this. And then the chord diagrams, on the screen. And we'll break those chords down. We'll kind of run through the chords. We'll run through the strumming pattern. And then we're literally going to run through the song just section by section. So let's do this here. I'm going to switch views here because you don't need to see me. So we're going to, you're going to see there, we're going to look at what chords to use. And let me get that off the screen. We'll just go one by one here. So as I said, we're going to go key of G. And what we're going to do, we're just going to use a nice simple G shape. And what we're going to do here is just I'm going to fly these chord diagrams on the screen. So this is a traditional G. It looks like that, right? You've got that shape there, but I would highly recommend using this shape, a G5. So what you're doing there is you're just anchoring this your ring and pinky finger at the bottom here, like that. You're using your second finger here, and I'm basically muting this A string with kind of the meat of this finger. So using that G shape, and then you're going to use good old-fashioned just D, just like that. And if you want, you could actually anchor that pinky there as well. But you could just use that regular D there, like you see on the screen. We're going to be using E minor, and I would highly recommend using this, E minor 7. And you can actually anchor that same thing. So you've got your G like that. Highly recommend just using this kind of anchor E minor 7. And then you're going to be using, instead of a C, like a traditional C like that, I would highly recommend using this C add 2. So it's, again, you're anchoring these. You're anchoring your ring and pinky finger on the 3rd fret, bottom 2 strings, your B and your E string. And you've got, try to get this here so you can see that, you've got that shape there. So you've got your G anchor, you've got your D, you've got your E minor 7 anchor there, and then you've got your C add 2. Another chord you are going to need in the verses as well is actually an A. You're going to need an A minor 7. And so it's going to look like this. And so I got fat fingers here, so you can, I'm always covering up the frets. But here you go. You can see that chord diagram there. You're basically using, your B string. You're hitting the first fret. Then you're rather than traditional A minor like this. So rather than that, the traditional A minor, you're going to kind of leave some space. And then you're going to add this pinky on 3rd fret, your high E string. You're going to use your pinky there. So those are the chords that you're going to need. And then there's one more little variation I do want to show you. You don't have to do this, but you'll see when we get there. In the verses and the turnaround, so the second verse, there's this neat just kind of like coloring of a chord. It's a G major 7. And so what you're doing, if you go from your anchor here, you can see we're leaving off a few notes, and you're basically using this, your ring finger on the 3rd fret of your B string. You've got the high G there, so the low E string. You've got 3rd fret, and then I'm using this, my first finger here, my pointer finger, to hit the 2nd fret of the high E string. And then rather than a regular G there, you've got that color. So you can see that there on the chord diagram. You can always stop the video and just kind of slow down here and get your fingers in position. But those are the chords you're going to need. And then there's one more here that'll show up quite frequently in the song is a G over B. And this is going to show up actually in the kind of the turnarounds, the intros. This is going to show up in the chorus as well. And this is also going to show up in the bridge actually. So G over B, just like that. You can see that there. And so again, you're anchoring the pinky and the ring finger. And then you've got this note here, your A string, 2nd fret, to get that B note. And just a side note here, just to let you know, obviously, these note names would actually be different. I'm doing everything relative to the capo. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm treating the capo as essentially as the new nut of the guitar. And so yeah, just as we go throughout this tutorial, just know that I'm referencing the fret numbers in relation to the capo. So hopefully you don't get confused there. But let's look at strumming. And so what's interesting here in the song is the acoustic guitar player, even though the chords are changing underneath, if you listen to the recording, the acoustic guitar player is actually using a picking pattern that actually stays constant, and it stays constant all the way pretty much up until verse 2. And so they go through the whole chorus. So I'm going to show you that real quick, and then we'll just look at some general strumming patterns for the song. So we're going to use that. Sorry, let me get these chords. Let me get that chord off here. For this picking pattern, we're going to be using this C add 2. And what the guitar player does is uses the C add 2 and does this picking pattern like this. So what I'm doing there is I'm picking with my thumb, and then I've got my pointer finger here, and I'm on the A note, A string, sorry, and then I'm on the G string, and I'm rocking back and forth between those. So it's 1 E and 2 E and, if you know counting for 16th notes, and then you're throwing this high B string in here with that C add 2. So you're going 1 E and a 2 E and a 3. Slow it down. So you can kind of slow it down if you need to practice it. And then, so again, that picking pattern, if you have a full band, you could actually experiment with that. The guitar player actually does that all the way throughout the first half of the song, basically until they get to verse 2, and then switches to the chording. So what I'm going to do now is let me get these chords up here so you're not confused when we're changing here. But I'm just going to run through the song section by section and just show you just how each section goes. So we looked at the picking there. Or actually, sorry, before we do that, let me show you strumming patterns, because you've got the picking, but then basically a general strumming pattern for this song is actually also just, they do a lot of kind of feathering 16th notes. So you'll hear that throughout the song. You'll hear straight just 8th note drives, so just like that. And then kind of a good old-fashioned like standard strumming pattern, especially in the bridge. So it'll go, there's power to open the gates, only a mention away, Jesus. So you'll hear that kind of just a regular kind of standard strumming pattern in the bridge as well. But let's break the song down section by section. So let's look at the intro. So the intro is actually the changes are the exact same as the chorus. So it's kind of got these pushes. You're going. Let me get that out of the way here. So it's going that G over B to the C, D to the E minor. And again, these are pushes. D over F sharp to G, and then D, C. And we didn't look at that D over F sharp, but basically what you're doing here, instead of there's a number of ways you could play this. Instead of your regular D here, you can actually, if you can reach your thumb over top, you can actually use your thumb. So you can going from the E minor to throw your thumb over with the D. You can also do, like I tend to just adapt a little bit and just find a way to play that F sharp up here. So we're going from the E minor. So all I'm doing is keeping these anchored, and then I'm switching these two fingers like that. So if you can see that here, I'm going from my E minor. I'm switching this finger from the A string, 2nd fret, up to E string, 2nd fret. Switching this one from my E minor down basically one string. So down, still 2nd fret, but down to the G string down there. So we're going from the E minor to the D over F sharp to the G like that. So intro goes like this. G over B to the C to the D, E minor, D over F sharp to G, D, C. And again, if you need to go back and kind of just familiarize yourself with the chords, just pause the video, go back to that chord section, just get those chords comfortable, and then again, come back to these song sections. But let me play it up to tempo here. D, C. Just repeats that. D, C. And that's your intro. Let's look at the verses. So the verses, again, you can experiment with that picking pattern. If you have a full band, you play that throughout. If you're just by yourself, this is what the verses look like. So you're going to be using that E minor 7. So all power, dominion to G, honor and strength, wisdom, glory. And then here's that A minor 7. And then E minor, all worship and wonder, unrivaled G acclaim, all reverence, all favor, all the A minor 7. So the verses just repeat themselves as far as what the chords that you're using. And then the second verse is actually going to be the same. The Alpha, Omega, per. And this is where you're going to throw in this G major 7 to give it some color. So you're going to go the Alpha, E minor 7, Omega, perfecter, the G major 7 of faith, and the rock that will stand age to age, A minor 7 again. The breakthrough, the banner, risen to reign, the lion and lamb who was slain, and the king who is, a little variation here, so the king E minor who is D, coming, the C add 2, coming again, and then the A minor 7 on the end. So let me play through that part there. Let's go for the breakthrough. So the breakthrough, the banner, risen to reign, the lion and lamb who were slain, and the king who is coming again. There's no name, into your chorus, like your name, like your name, Jesus. All the high praise to no name but your name, Jesus. So you can hear the chorus is the exact same as the intro. So let's just break it down a little bit slower, just adding the lyric in. So let's break down the chorus here. And you're going to go like this. So you're going to go, there's no name, G over B to the C, like D, E minor, like D over F sharp to the G, D, C, all the G over B to the C, to D to the E minor, D over F sharp to the G, D, C. So again, that's the chorus, exact same as the intro. And then the song has as well, before it drops into the bridge, song has an interlude, which is the exact same as the bridge. So let's look at this interlude real quick and show you this. But again, it's going to be the exact same progression as the bridge, which is nice, just leading into that. So chords here, you're going to be using your C, that's C add 2, D. You're going to be using your E minor 7 again, and then your G over B once more. See that G over B that you used in the chorus? You're going to be using that for your bridge as well. So the bridge, or this interlude, is going to be going. And you can do this little picking. The first time they go through it, they do this picking pattern. And again, it's this bouncing. You hear this in a lot of worship songs. G over B. And then they'll bring the strumming in too. So you can kind of do the same thing with the interlude, just keep that picking going. And then again, when we get into the bridge here, I'll show you the strumming that they switch into. So that's the interlude. Again, just repeats that, same chords as the bridge. And now let's look at the bridge of the song. So you're going to be flowing straight from that interlude. So this is the interlude going into the bridge. And I'll show you this with the lyrics. There's power to stand in the name, to tell what is unseen to change. It's only a mention away, Jesus. So there's power, C, to open the gates. Until D, nothing and no one's the same. It's only E minor 7, a mention away, Jesus, G over B. And then they go up, and the strumming wise, you can switch to this power to stand in the name, to tell what is unseen to change. It's only a mention away, Jesus, yeah. There's power to open the gates, until nothing and no one's the same. It's only a mention away, Jesus, Jesus. Keep the same chords, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. There's no name. Then it goes from this refrain after the bridge into the chorus with these hits. And so I'll show you that in a second here, but just want to backtrack to this refrain. So you're keeping the same rhythm as the bridge. You're just keeping this C to the D to the E minor, but there's one variation at the end, and that is you're gonna when you jump straight into the choruses, you're gonna switch from going to the G over B to back to your D. And that'll lead you into your choruses. So the refrain is gonna look like this. Jesus C, Jesus D, Jesus E minor 7 to your D. And then here's these chorus hits. There's no name like your name. You're just gonna literally hit the chords like your name, Jesus. Come back in with the strumming, all the high praise to no name but your name, Jesus. Yeah, back to the bridge. There's power to stand in the name, to tell what is unseen to change. It's only a mention away, Jesus. Sorry, G over B there. It's power to stand, open the gates, until nothing and no one's the same. It's only a mention away, Jesus. Your again. Jesus, 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 Jesus. G over B there because you're going to repeat it. Jesus, Jesus, yes, Jesus. Yeah. Last chorus, down chorus. There's no name like your name, like your name, Jesus. All the high praise to no name but your name, Jesus. So just a note on that last chorus, instead of doing the G over B to the C, when it comes to this down chorus after that last refrain, you know, super high energy. Again, this is if you're playing with a full band, but even if you're playing the song as just an acoustic guitar player, you can kind of bring some of this dynamic in. You're coming out of that refrain, Jesus, Jesus, E minor 7, Jesus, yeah, down chorus, there's no name, just the C. So instead of the G over B to the C, you can just hit the C. There's no name like your name, like your name, Jesus. You can even switch to picking this chorus. All the high praise to no name but your name, Jesus. Yeah, and that's the song. Hopefully that was helpful. It was, man, like I said, there was nothing resource-wise out there when I was trying to learn this song. And man, it is an amazing song, just a powerful declaration of lifting up the name of Jesus. I think of Philippians 2. You know, he is given the name above every name. And so hopefully that's helpful for you if you're an acoustic guitar player, worship leader, trying to just learn the song. Like I said, remember, capo-wise, you can always take it down. You could probably hear in there, like I would never lead it in that key, to be honest, just in kind of the average congregation, maybe a worship night or something, just pushing the vocal cords. But man, I would take it at least a couple capos down, and a good male key is B, I found, or even C. You could at least like take it down to capo 5, play it in C. And yeah, just an amazing song. Hopefully that helps you learn the song. And just before you go, we'd love to get that gift into your hands. So visit influentialworship.com. You'll get that free guide. It'll teach you 6 practices you can implement to lead with confidence in your worship leading this very Sunday. So worship leaders, is God bless. Man, we are in this fight together, and hope you take the song and again teach your congregations. Just lift up the name of Jesus, declaring there is no name like His name together. Thanks for watching today. We'll see you next time.